Thank you for joining me for this live stream. It is extremely cold here in Minnesota. Right behind me, this building right behind me is the federal building here for ICE agents. I believe it's called the Whipple building, Whipple Federal Buildings, where the detention center is. And I wanted to come here and give you, people were like, oh, you covered protests during the day, but you're not covering the riots that happen at night. So I couldn't find any riots in downtown Minneapolis, but I mean, I wanted to come here and see exactly what's going on right outside of the federal building here. Again, I support everyone who exercises their First Amendment right, and I support these people here to exercise their First Amendment right. And let's see. Look, there's not a lot of people. There was thousands and thousands of people earlier, and ooh, at least my ears aren't cold this time. But there was thousands and thousands of people earlier in the streets. Doesn't look like too many people here right now, but let's go take a look together. I'm not going to be live for very long. I just wanted to show you guys, so you guys could see what it's like here on the ground. I didn't come out here all the way from here from Long Island for no reason. So Bishop Henry Whipple Federal Building, it says employees only, as you can see there. Employees only, apparently. So I guess they're heckling all of the ICE agents. As you can see, there's like barriers and gates up all around the federal building. Everybody's behind the barrier.
You walk funny.
So I guess this is it. This is everybody. We do have a big law enforcement presence here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 law enforcement officers over here. And there's another law enforcement officer right there. So, and I believe there's National Guard. There is National Guard over here in the back. I saw them when I was parking.
Welcome home, buddy.
So I believe this individual was just released from the ICE detention center. They're telling him welcome home. So they have all types of hand warmers and things like that over here.
Are welcome here, no hate, no fear. Immigrants 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 are welcome here, no hate.
So this is the federal building over here. It's all cordoned off. And anybody, you see this vehicle right here, any federal officer that comes in here, they're just cursing at them and screaming at them. But it's their First Amendment right to do that. But again, doesn't look like chaos or riots to me. Doesn't look that way to me.
Excuse us.
Excuse me. So let's do what we do best and film law enforcement. So these are Hennepin County Sheriff deputies here. They have 1, 2, there's somebody in the back too, 3 deputies here. The one thing I will say is that law enforcement's always going to get their overtime, right? I mean, I thought you were about the law. I am. I support the Constitution. What do you mean? The supreme law of the land is the Constitution of the United States, which includes the Bill of Rights. I do support the law. No one's in this vehicle here. The National Guard is here somewhere. Make sure if you guys are in here and you support the Constitution, hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Again, I'm not going to be live for too long. I just wanted to show you guys the protest outside of, this is the federal building right here, the Whipple building. And I wanted to, before I leave, I'm going back to Long Island. I just wanted to come out here in these sub-zero temperatures to freeze and just document what's happening here. See, there's law enforcement officers over there. So every single federal officer that leaves this federal building here, they're just going crazy. And then we have the Hennepin County Sheriff officers over here collecting that overtime, right? Getting that nice overtime. I'm sure they love it.
Oh my God!
They got grilled cheese. They got grilled cheese, food, hand warmers. Again, I just wanted to get you guys what was going on the ground, just like what I did with the protest earlier. Wanted to keep you guys updated on what's going on in our country. Again, I will say this. Let me turn my camera around. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Got the light right behind me. I guess this is better. My ears are finally covered, so it's good. But I will say this. You know, I see the comments. You know, I see the unsubscribes and everything, and we only have 1,000 people in here. We normally have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and that's fine with me. I'm okay with it. I do support the law. I support the supreme law of the land, the Constitution. You know, the problem is no one thinks in nuance anymore. And if you can support enforcement of the law, and that includes immigration law. You can support that, but then disavow the federal government, federal masked agents violating our constitutional rights. You can do both things at the same time. You do not have to be loyal and blindly loyal to the federal government, to the president, to an administration. My only loyalty is to the United States Constitution and we the people. That is my only loyalty. My only loyalty is to my fellow American and the Constitution. So you can have blind loyalty towards a president, towards an administration, a Congress, an agency, a badge, but we need to be loyal to the Constitution. And when we have ICE agents out there violating the Constitution, I have been personally abducted by Border Patrol, placed in a jail cell because I wouldn't speak to them and I was exercising my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. So they threatened me with violence, they ripped me out, they committed violence against a U.S. citizen. I wasn't breaking any laws. They had no reasonable suspicion that I was an immigrant, an illegal immigrant. They had no reasonable suspicion I broke any federal law. They admitted that. If you want to see it for yourself, I have the whole audio of my unlawful detainment by Border Patrol on my channel. You can find it there. Didn't break any laws, and I told them I was exercising my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Yet they violated my First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment and due process under law. So again, I'm having a hard time understanding what is so hard to understand here from the point of view of people who say, well, Sean, we have, illegal invaders. Okay, does that mean that the Constitution just is suspended? Let's think with our brains here. I mean, if we could just suspend the Constitution, if an administration could suspend the Constitution, listen, back during COVID, I wasn't for people, for the government mandating anybody to do anything. I'm very consistent. I'm not left or right. I've said it many times. It's up and down. It's not left or right. It's about tyranny versus freedom. And I will always stand up for tyranny. I don't care. People are like, oh, he's going to lose all of his subscribers. I don't care. That doesn't matter to me. I know that the ones that are still here, the ones that support me, the ones that are on the side of the Constitution. Look, the Epstein files were released today, a lot more of the Epstein files, and you see all these people, Elon Musk, even Donald Trump's mentioned in there. There are so many evil people in this world that are hurting children, and I don't have blind loyalty towards anybody. I will always have my loyalty to the Constitution and to we the people. And I'll tell you what, I don't care about billionaires. I think billionaires are some of the most evil people on this planet. They do not care about you and I. They want us fighting each other. They want you putting in the comment section, FA, when an American citizen dies unarmed at the hands of ICE, they want you saying FAFO instead of saying, whoa, what are we doing here? We're killing American citizens that are unarmed? What are we doing? We're killing American citizens that are clearly trying to flee the scene? I mean, at the end of the day, we're arresting me, an American citizen, a proud American citizen who's very educated on the Constitution and our laws and my rights. This is a very slippery slope. You say FAFO. I think that all of you who are supporting tyranny right now, you are fucking around, and I think you're about to find out. Because you called me all day, you people, you've called me a communist, Sean, and liberal, lunatic liberal, Sean. I mean, I hope you don't find out, because no matter your political beliefs, I love all of our people here, and I don't love traitors. I don't love people. If you want to be in an authoritarian regime, if that's what you want, if you want to live in an authoritarian regime where the government can do whatever they want and there is no constitutional restraints on them and we don't have a Bill of Rights, just say that. Accept it. You'll feel better about yourself. I promise you. Just accept that you want an authoritarian regime. You don't want a constitutional republic. You don't want the Bill of Rights. Just admit it to yourself. I mean, but to say, illegal immigrants don't have rights and, the Constitution doesn't apply to them, it's very ignorant. When I read those comments, it sounds very ignorant that you're saying that, because Google is free. Most AI platforms are free that you could do your own research. Whether you like it or not, and don't kill the messenger here, illegal immigrants do have rights. I mean, not because I say they do, or not even because I want them to. It's because the United States Constitution says they do. They have due process rights under the law. They have Fifth Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment rights. I mean, they just do. I didn't say so. The Constitution said so, and the Supreme Court said that they do. So when you sit here and say that illegal immigrants don't have any constitutional rights, that's just not true. So many of you say, oh, facts don't care about your feelings, but then you allow your hatred and your feelings to cloud your judgment on the facts. Again, let me be clear. I'm not saying that they should or not. All I'm telling you is that they do. Not because Jean-Paul Reyes, Long Island Audit said so, but because the Constitution said so, and the Supreme Court of the United States has interpreted the Constitution to say so as well. So again, I think a problem that we have in this country, a big problem is that we are not educating ourselves. We are not reading. I saw somebody in the chat earlier said that people in our government love people who are uneducated. That is very true. They want us to be uneducated. They want us divided as Americans. They want the left and the right coming together and fighting each other. And you're a lunatic liberal. You're a MAGA nut. You're this. You're that. That's what they want. That's what the people up here that have the power, who are lobbying Congress, foreign countries lobbying Congress, all the stuff you don't see, campaign contributions, fraud. People are like, oh, Sean, you're not talking about the fraud in Minneapolis. I mean, I'm not like a fraud reporter. I don't cover fraud. I would cover government fraud, like, a politician being corrupt. I see it all the time. Mayors, local officials, state officials, and I'm sure federal officials receiving money from outside sources, from outside countries. How are we America first? How are we this and that when our politicians have been bought and paid for by these PACs, corporate PACs, other countries? It's crazy getting $400 million jets from Qatar, There's a lot that's going on in our country that we need to wake up and see, because I will always fight for the people. I will always be on the side of the Constitution and our constitutional rights. I don't care if we're in a pandemic. I don't care if there's terrorism. I don't care about illegal immigration. I will always take the side. Illegal immigration, enforcement of immigration laws shouldn't come at the expense of the Constitution of the United States. It just shouldn't. Now that people, you've seen the videos, I've showed you, go check out my Instagram. I've showed you the videos of federal masked agents saying, oh, you're taking pictures of me, you're a domestic terrorist, you're going in a database. That's the country you want to live in because you want to enforce illegal immigration laws? I mean, you really want federal agents saying that they're creating some sort of database of people who exercise their rights and have different and don't, guess what? If you don't want people to be deported, that's your right. And if you want them all deported, that's your right too. You can feel that way. But for the government to say, because you are opposed to what we are doing, you're going, and because you're exercising your rights, just think, everyone, now you're a domestic terrorist. You calling these people here behind me rioters? I mean, they're just protesting. They're not rioting. Has there been rioters? Sure. And riots, I condemn riots. I condemn violence all the time. But when I'm seeing violence against American citizens, oh, she was impeding. Does that mean that a law enforcement officer could just throw people to the ground? No, if somebody's impeding, you arrest them. You don't just throw people to the ground and beat the hell out of them like a goon squad and then say, oh, well, they were impeding, and then leave them and not even charge them with a crime. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Come on, please. A lot of people in my comment section say, Sean, don't worry about the bootlickers. Don't worry about this and that. Hey, what's up, brother? Don't worry about this and that. Don't worry about the bootlickers. Why do you even entertain them? Because I'm not trying to divide us. I'm trying to bring us together. Again, we can have the conversation about illegal immigration. We can have that conversation. You could want that law enforced. You could want the border secure. Sure, that's fine. But what we can't do is accept the government labeling people who disagree with them and exercise their rights domestic terrorists. What we can't do is accept ICE agents telling people, if you raise your voice, I will erase your voice. And that ICE agent could barely speak English. I mean, what are we doing here? We cannot have ICE agents and Border Patrol breaking down people's doors with an administrative warrant. Somebody in my comment section said, a warrant is a warrant. Again, this is where the lack of education comes, because a warrant is not a warrant. An administrative warrant is an Article 1 warrant. A judicial warrant is an Article 3 warrant. You need an Article 3 warrant, not because Sean Paul says so. Again, do your own research. You need an Article 3 warrant to go and go into somebody's home and to break into somebody's home and knock down their door and enter their home. That's what you need. Not because Sean Paul Reyes says so, Long Island Audit. That's because that's what the Supreme Court has said. That's not me. That's what it is. Again, if you don't like it, talk to the Supreme Court. Don't talk to me. I'm not making the laws. I'm not a congressman. I'm not a judge on the Supreme Court. I'm not the president. I'm just telling you what it is. And if you educated yourself, you would understand that federal agents, ICE and Border Patrol, going into someone's home without a judicial warrant is a violation of the Fourth Amendment that all of us, as we the people, should be against. I mean, I feel like I'm talking to the wall here. Maybe I'll lose every subscriber I ever had, and that's fine with me. But, and again, I'm not trying to say you're stupid or, I'm just trying to say that we need, when you say things like illegal immigrants have zero constitutional rights. So the way the Constitution works, there's some rights for citizens that apply to citizens and only exclusively. And then there's some rights that apply also to citizens and anybody, persons, right? That's what the Constitution says, persons. And do you know why that's so important? Is because if the government, if undocumented illegal immigrants don't have any rights, that means that the government, listen to me, people, that means that the government could say, you're an illegal immigrant. I'm going to put you in a prison and hold you there because you have no rights. You don't get to see a judge. You don't get to have an attorney. You have zero rights. You're an illegal immigrant. That's why they have rights, because the government needs to be able to prove that these people are illegally here in the country. That's how that works. See, you think that you're fighting for rule of law and the enforcement of immigration law. That's what you think you're fighting for. Sean, we want secure borders. Biden let in 20 million people. That's not true either. 20 million people is not the real number. But again, do some research on your own. But again, I'm not saying that Biden was good for doing that or bad for doing that. I think we should have secure borders. Let me be very clear. I think we should have secure borders. I think that any country should have secure borders. I mean, I don't want terrorists coming over here, and I don't want people that are going to do harm to my country coming over here. But there's terrorists in our government right now. In ICE right now, there are terrorists. Somebody who says that they're going to put you on a domestic terrorist watch list for recording them, that's a domestic terrorist from within the government. Okay, and I don't want that either. I want secure borders, but I want us to do it constitutionally and lawfully. I don't think that's too crazy of a take to have, to be called some lunatic liberal. I mean, I really just don't. I don't get it. I don't get people. You have these, it really seems like you guys, some of you are in a cult, really, because anything this administration or ICE or Border Patrol can do, you just say FAFO. Because that's what you hear. That's what you hear. That's what you see on Twitter. That's what you see on Instagram. Oh, he fucked around and found out. That's an American citizen that died. Renee Good, Alex Preddy, those were American citizens. Yes, they could have acted differently. Yes, I'm sure their families would have wanted them never to go there and get involved. But they're still American citizens who lost their lives when they were posing no immediate threat to the government or the government agents. And you celebrate that? You think that's a good thing? I don't know where this country is really, it makes me sad. Even now, the racism, right? Because I'm speaking to you, because I'm educating you on the Constitution, because I'm telling you what it is, you think Sean supports criminal illegal aliens. He's scared he's going to get deported. I mean, I can't get deported, okay? I can't. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't have a dog in the fight. My family's from Puerto Rico originally, moved to New York. Third generation New Yorker, right? I'm a United States citizen. People who live in Puerto Rico are United States citizens. I love my country. I'm very proud of my country. I think we are the freest country in the world, but we have to keep it that way. We don't want to be a Venezuela. We don't want to be a Russia, North Korea. I heard, I don't know if you guys heard, but the president said, I want my people to treat me like the people of North Korea treat Kim Jong-un. I mean, that's scary to you, is it not? I mean, I'm just saying, is that not scary thing to say? Or the other day where he says, sometimes they say I'm always a dictator, but sometimes we need a dictator. Sometimes we need a dictator? When is there ever a situation where we need a dictator? Come on. If Biden said that, I would have been up in arms too. I would have been like, what are you talking about? When Biden said, you don't need your Second Amendment, we have F-16s. I thought that was the craziest thing I ever heard. You don't need a what's the big deal about the Second Amendment? We have F-16s. I thought that was a direct threat on the American people, and I said so. At the time. I mean, I call it how I see it, left or right, man. These powerful elite billionaires, they all abuse children. I don't know if I could say the P word here on YouTube, but they all abuse children. They're all in this cabal. You have all these different people. They don't care about you or me. They care about themselves and making their countries and their companies richer and increasing their profit margins and selling cryptocurrencies and doing this and doing that. I mean, like, how would you feel really if any other president had a cryptocurrency coin that anybody can buy anonymously? You would think that president is compromised, wouldn't you? That anybody could just throw money into a cryptocurrency coin, a digital asset, and no one knows, and it enriches the president. Like, I just don't get it. And then you're like, oh, but he doesn't take a salary. I mean, I call it like I see it. If Joe Biden, Barack Obama had a cryptocurrency coin, I would think that would be a ridiculous thing to do too. I mean, I think it's ridiculous. And again, I'm trying not to be trying not to take a side here because my side is with liberty and freedom. You know, one of my favorite quotes from Benjamin Franklin: "Those educate yourself. Those who would give up their essential liberty to purchase temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." And that's exactly what happened after 9/11 with the Patriot Act. That's exactly what's happening now with illegal immigration. 9/11, we lost all of our rights. And now with illegal immigration, because all of the illegal immigrants apparently are just committing these heinous crimes, every single one of them, all 20 million that you say that there are here, they're all committing heinous crimes, but you're allowing the government to commit heinous crimes against the American people to solve your problem. The same way we gave up our rights during 9/11 to solve a problem with terrorism, right? You know, it's all a cycle, it's all repeating. We need to stand on the side of the people. We need to stand on the side of the Constitution. That's what we need right now. And again, you could say stick to First Amendment audits, but I'm not. I'll still do for First Amendment audits. And you could say stay in your lane, Sean. Don't talk about these things. You're not giving any counter arguments here. In the comment section, nobody gives a counter argument. They just say FAFO. Sean loves criminal illegal aliens, which I've never said. I always said that you can enforce immigration law, right? So I don't get it. I think I don't care if every single person who's here illegally gets deported. It really means nothing to me as long as it's done constitutionally. I don't care, really. I don't. I know I'm not getting deported. I know my family's not getting deported. So it is what it is. I'm a human. I have a heart. I know that a lot of places in the world are suffering right now. I don't want to become that country where people are suffering and I got to go claim asylum somewhere else because a bunch of you out there want to submit and deep throat the whole boot, okay? You could say stick to your lane, do only First Amendment audits, whatever you want to say. I don't care. This is my channel and I will do what I want and I will say what I want because that's my First Amendment right to say what I want. That's what I'll do. And if you don't like it, you can leave. It's fine. I'm trying to give my perspective on things. I'm not always right. Do your own research. Again, read a case law. Do it. I'm a sellout. Oh man, I love it. I didn't even talk about Don Lemon, so I don't know what you're talking about. You can call me. Listen, I think you're the sellout, really. You're selling out our Constitution for your hatred. You're so blinded. You're either deep-throating the boot of this administration so bad that you refuse to see it, or you're so blinded by your hatred of people who are here illegally that you would gladly give up your own rights. You would gladly hand them all over to enforce illegal immigration. I won't. I don't care what problem our country's facing. I will never give up my rights. Never gonna happen. Never. Don't care what problem it is. Pandemic, terrorism, don't care. I will always fight for my rights. Illegal immigration, not gonna happen. Yes, blinded by hatred. I agree with you, Sean. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean. Preach. I'm just telling it how it is, man. Just telling it how it is. Let's see. I love you all, really. I love you all. I feel bad for the people who have such hate in their heart. You support me filming the local cops, but if somebody films ICE, there's an issue about it. Like, I don't get it. I'm trying to understand. I want us all to come together as a country and really realize it's those people, not the people around us. I want our country to be better. I want us to educate ourselves. We are so uneducated. I was so uneducated. I'm still learning every single day. I love to learn. I have so much more to learn. And I've educated myself so much. I've made mistakes in my life. I've made horrible decisions, and I've come out of those horrible decisions and that ignorance, and I've realized the truth. We have child abusers who are all rich elite people doing all this crazy things. Have you guys seen the Epstein files where Elon Musk is Elon Musk is asking to go to the island, and what day is the wildest day to go? Come on, dude. These are the billionaires I'm telling you about. They have their own little club, and you're not in it. Why don't you try going to Mar-a-Lago? Why don't you try go playing golf? Like, you're not in the club, dude. I'm trying to tell you. You think you're part of the club, but you're not in it. I'm telling you right now. Like, they're like, I love ICE. Ooh, ew. Again, you could love enforcing illegal immigration. That's your right as an American. You could love enforcing the laws that we have in our books and wanting to keep a border secure. But to say I love ICE with a heart emoji, like, that's gross to me. It's like you love a government agency. Ugh, it's like saying I love the DMV. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, great. Love ICE. I don't care. Ice baby. That's all you guys say. It's like, I swear these are bots. You guys got to be bots. I swear. I hate to like just say, oh, bots or whatever, but I hate to be like cheaping it like that. But it's just weird that you guys all say the same thing. Like FAFO, ice baby. Like, it's just all the weird, like, you guys just say the same things over and over again instead of like, why don't you, like, in my comment section, if you disagree with anything that I've said, why don't you try and like formulate an argument on why I'm wrong, and then we can have a debate, an honest debate. What happened to having debate in our country? I don't get it. It's weird. It's weird. I heart the DMV. Russian bots, maybe. It's the same thing, that they just repeat the same thing over and over again. I don't get it. I love Latinas, me too. I love one Latina, actually. Sorry. Let's see. The truth is the truth. And again, I think in our country right now, the truth and facts, people distort them based on their own political ideology, whether it's left or right. Both sides do it. Distort the truth. The truth is the truth. Facts are facts. The Constitution is the Constitution. And when you try and twist those things in order to fit your own narrative and political ideology, you're not being loyal to the Constitution. You're being loyal to your party, the administration. Ooh, I love you guys. I'm freezing. My feet are freezing. I just wanted to come out here and show you the protest. Look, it's not that many people here. Well, there's more cops than there are people here, to be honest, because, you know, cops always got to get their cut, right? They got to get their overtime and everything else. So there's more cops here and National Guardsmen here than anything else. Not that many people. They're handing out hand warmers over there and grilled cheese sandwiches and stuff and saying fuck ICE, which I completely support. And if you don't, not my problem. But, you know, that's another thing they say, cry Democrats. Like, what? Like, cry? Nobody's crying. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's got to be bots. I swear, it's got to be bots. These people cannot be real life. Ooh, these people cannot be real life. I just wanted to bring you guys this is the federal building right there. That's where people are. I refuse to be divided. I am cold. I refuse to be divided. I will always stand up for the Constitution. I love you guys. Please open your mind. Read case law. Inform yourself. Don't listen to everything I say. But the one thing I would take from this is the billionaires don't give a shit about you, okay? That's for sure. You can't read about that. You just kind of gotta pay attention and know where CEOs are making hundreds of millions of dollars, and then people on, the entry-level workers making $15, can't afford to buy a house in this country, can't afford to do anything. The wealth separation between the middle class and the upper class, it's just do research, see. 80% of Americans, I think, live paycheck to paycheck. It's insane. And I'm very fortunate and blessed. I'm not saying, oh, poor me. I'm telling you, I would gladly raise my taxes to help people who don't have it, because my life wouldn't change with an extra 3%. 5%. But do you know who would care about that 5%? The billionaires you worship, okay? They're not giving you not even 1% of their billions of dollars because they want to hold it. Greed. But I love you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you joining me. Oh, I can't even think anymore. I gotta go. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Remember, we the people need to stand united, always together. Support the Constitution. Resist tyranny. As always, stay safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next one. Long Island Audit. Peace.